Good morning. Happy rainy day today. She's not going to turn and look at us. I'm Cher Johnston. This is my happy place. Here we go. I have a light on today because it's dark and dreary. Okay, today we're going to continue with the envelope. And I realized that it was really flippy-floppy. And I didn't have a backing fabric on it. So this is a cotton towel. That's a kitchen towel. I think it's called a flour sack kitchen towel. And I have a little tiny needle and white thread. And I'm just going to do some little tacking stitches. I'm going to go right back in really close to where I came out. And I'm just going to tack this down. And I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing, because that would just be boring. So I'll do this and then I'll come back. Okay, so that's done. Now before I cut the white fabric off, I want to do some stitching. Sorry about the noise with the bag. This is Sashiko thread. I'll hold it there for a second. So I got this on Amazon, and I'm going to open it up. Now I like to have a Sashiko needle, but dang it, I can't find it. I know that I have 3. I bought 3, and I could use something like this. This is just an embroidery needle. I think that would fit. So here's the skein. Okay, I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to find the knot. There we go. And then I'm going to cut that. Then I'm going to take this, and this is one of my floss drops. I'm going to stick it in there, and there. Now I have single. When I want a piece of this thread, I just pull this out. So this thread is very soft. It's very it will sort of disappear into the fabric. I mean, not that it doesn't disappear. It's you're still going to see it. Just kind of becomes one with the fabric. Becomes one with the, I'm going to try this. I bought these doll needles, Yes, I have doll needles. I have an incredible amount of needles. And I want to use this one because I want to use my thimble. This is a Sashiko thimble that I made. And the idea is that you push it. You use this to push the needle through the fabric. And I want a nice long needle. Guess I don't have to have a really long needle because this isn't a huge project. But I just want to show you guys. I'm going to do a quilter's knot. Do 2 times. Pull it through. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to start on the sides here. I'm going to come up from the bottom. And let's go, well, let's just go here. And I'm just going to do a running stitch. Oh, it was off camera, sorry. And with this, needle and thread, you just kind of fold the fabric over the needle. The thing that I like about this is that it helps keep your stitching lines really really straight, and it's also really fast. All right, then after you pull all the way through, you want to pull that back out. So it doesn't get too poofy. I'm going to go to the back. I'm going to start again up here. You don't have to have Sashiko thread to do this. You can use any kind of thread. I bought this. I have it. I like to use it. It's cheap. It's very cheap. It's white, so it goes with anything. I suppose I could dye it, but I'm not going to do that. And I mainly want this to give a little structure and texture to my piece. So there you go. I'm not going to do all this on camera. That would be insane. I'm also not going to cover the entire thing with this stitching. Oh, but I did want to tell you that this is sometimes called Kantha stitching. It's also sometimes called Boro stitching or Sashiko. I think that all of those mean different things. I think Boro actually means mending, and Sashiko stitching is, very specific. You have patterns and there's a specific way of doing it. A lot of times in our Western world, they call this the back and forth like this. They often call it Kantha stitching. I know that Rachel from Roxy Creations often calls it Kantha stitching. I don't know. I don't really know what Kantha stitching is. But I do know this is, sorry, I do know that this is running stitch. So I'm going to do lots and lots of running stitches with my doll needle because I can't find my Sashiko needle. And I don't know yet how much I'm going to do, but I am going to do it off camera because it's going to take a while. But I like the look that it gives. It looks kind of quilted. Looks very quilted. So I'm going to do that off camera and I'll be back. Okay, I thought I'd come on and show you what I have here. I did the stitching along the edges. I did an overcast stitch here. And this here, I just wanted to show you this. I have a stencil that it's for like scrapbooking to make lines on paper, Then I decided that this edge, remember this is the edge of the envelope where the card's going to go in. So I want this to have a little extra strength. So I cut this. I have about a 1/2 inch here that I cut. I'm going to fold that up under there. And then I have on this side, see I have that line. I'm going to use that line. First, I'm going to go from the inside. So my knot's inside. Then I'm going to start with a detached chain stitch. This is that thread from Sherry Iris from the kit, the Christmas tree kit. All right, so there's that. I might go through and put dots here so that I'm sort of evenly spaced. Oh gosh. Need to make sure that's wrapped there like that. All right. Now I'll do one more stitch. And I need to make sure that that's wrapped. There, see how nice that's going to look? All right, I'm going to finish this off camera and I'll come back. Okay, well that was a lot of stitching, a lot. You can see on the back all my lines, and I think you can see the stitching easier from the back. There's some places on the front where I was very careful not to see. There's one spot where I went over the stitching, but I was very careful to not go over too much of the stitching. And I love the way that feels. It completely changes the texture to have all the stitching, all the stuff. And if you've never done anything like this, I highly recommend it. It's very satisfying. It's very nice. The next thing that I'm going to do is I need to cut. This is the. Let me just put it together, kind of. These are going to go up, and then this goes over. This goes up, and that goes over, and that makes our pocket. And then the flap. Now remember, the flap is going to be sewn down or maybe glued down to a page. Let's pretend this is a page. So I could just glue it to a page. I'm thinking about how I want to construct that. So these, I'm going to leave this because that can go, that can be folded under. This needs to be cut. So here, I want to I don't know if I want this cut off completely. Excuse me. This I can cut sort of right underneath there. You're not really going to see it. I may get some fray check if I can find it. There's a stuff called fray check. It's like glue, but for fabric to keep it from fraying. So I think what I'm going to do next is I am going to iron all this blue out of there, and then I'm going to iron the sides up again, and I'm going to cut the sides and stuff off. You don't need to see me do all that. And I'll come back for the last bit of stitching. You could, of course, glue it if you'd like, but I'm not about gluing. I'm about sewing. So I'll be back. I really like it. I was very careful, like here, I was very careful to make sure that the stitches went underneath the tree and didn't disturb the way that that looks. I had thought about putting in more sequins and beads, and you know, I might wait until the morning and then decide in the morning if I want to do more like sequins and beads and stuff. I'll be back. Okay, here's my envelope. I really like this. I like this a lot. So I ironed it. I ironed the sides up. I cut this side. I got this ironed and I thought, that's too white. That's too white. So I have some tea because I drink tea every morning, and I'm sorry, I just have to do it. I just have to. It has to be tea stained. So what I have here is a little. This is a. I think it's called a chip brush. Really cheap little. Just a cheap brush. I think what I can do is might be able to iron it dry or use the blow dryer or something. Although I do want to be careful because I don't want it to mold or, you know, I want to fold it up before it's ready. And it is coming through the other side. I don't work with, can't say I don't work with linen a lot. I do. I like linen. I don't know enough. I don't know a lot about linen. And I don't know if it's really good quality linen that is flippy-floppy like that. And I'm thinking about the construction of my book, and I have one page that's linen, you know, the Christmas tree from Sherry Iris, and it's very flippy-floppy, and I didn't back it with anything. I had wanted to make my book a accordion, and I wanted the back side to show all the stitching because I think that looks kind of cool. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that because the linen is flippy-floppy. Let's just see. See, this one is nice and stiff. The edges are not so much, but I can add other fabrics in. And like this is linen. This is one that I'm working on, and I'm planning to put other fabrics along the edges, you know, and make it more stable. This is pretty flippy floppy too. This is linen. No, that's part of my pants. I think that's linen, but I backed it. This one I didn't back it, and look how flippy floppy it is. I don't know. I'm trying to think about the construction of my book, and I have some pages that are going to be just photos, and I may use, this is canvas. It's like painting canvas, and I may paint on around the edges like this. That's the top of the envelope, and it's going to get sewn down to the edge of a page. And I might sew down 3 sides and make it into a pocket. And then just paint around the edges. That might be kind of cool. Anyway, just my thoughts. Now I have to wait for this to dry, or dry it or something, and then I'll be back and we can finish. I'm making a mess, but I'll be back. Oh, it feels like this video is getting really long, but it's not. It's just taking me a long time to do it. Now, one thing that I want to say right here is that if you do running stitch like this all over, keep in mind it's going to shrink up. So I thought I left myself a little room, kind of not much. So I had to sort of, I don't know, change what I was doing. But I put this envelope in there. Now the card is smaller than the envelope, so I know that it'll fit. And I want to sew this down with the envelope in there so that I don't ruin the card. As opposed to putting the card in there and sewing it down. You know what I mean. You knew what I meant. Now the other thing that happened, oh, so I tea stained it. Then I wanted it to dry really fast, so I tried to iron it, and it was getting these brown spots like this. Oh my gosh. So I didn't want that, so I put it on a pan and I put it in the oven. That did the same thing, exactly the same thing. And I thought, well, you know, I could probably wash it out, but I want to just finish this video. I'm also thinking I want to put a thing there, one of those snippets that I have, but I can do that after I finish because I feel like I want to finish this. I want to just get this done and get this video posted. one of my lovely subscribers made a comment on my first video that she was using linen, and it was kind of flippy-floppy. And I commented back that, yeah, it's flippy-floppy. Told her I was still working on my my second video. So I just did one little stitch there. Now I want this stitch, I'm going to do an overcast stitch, but I want it to be really obvious. So I'm going to go down to the next stitch, and then I'm going to do, and I'm using really big stitches because I want it to be seen, you know, so I'm going to do 2 stitches here. And I'm not worried about going through to the back because my envelope is in there. So there's that. So I guess I'm going through it 3 times because, yeah, one more time to go where the next stitch is going to be. And I also want them to be kind of big because I have raw edges there. And I do have, see, I did take the backing fabric and folded it under. So there is that. But still, I have these raw edges. Now what I'm trying to do is do a 45-degree angle. To make them sort of evenly spaced. I was really terribly concerned about it. I would get out my dot grid and make dots, but I'm not going to do that. And now you know what? I'm actually really glad that I didn't put a another piece on top there, because with this stitching it might be enough. I was also kind of thinking about doing some beads or sequins or something. And again, I decided I could do that afterward. Because I wanted to show you the finish of this. I don't think I did the other one the same way. Let me just get it and see. Oh, no, you know what I did? You can see those little stitches in there. I did an invisible stitch. I stitched it down with some white. You can see the stitches there. So I used some white thread and did invisible stitching to stitch it down. And this I just did a an overcast stitch. That's not even a blanket stitch or anything. That's just decorative stitching there. Oh, but you know what I want to do? Oh, it was so cute. I saw this thing that somebody did. And it's so cute. I need to do it. If you do a chain stitch in red and then you whip it with white, you get this cute little candy cane. Maybe that needs to be on top of this. That would be cute. All right. We have, today is Sunday. We had rain for 2 or 3 days. Today there's no rain, but it's a little overcast. I mean, a little bit, oh, it's just dreary outside. I love it. I really like it. Any day that it's not hot as bejesus, it's a good day for me. All right, I'm gonna leave that. See how it's sort of frayed? I'm gonna leave it kind of like that. And then before we do the other side, I have to end off, and I'm going to end off inside. Oh, I got that kind of tight, didn't I? Oops. All right. Take that pin out. And I'm going to go inside there. I'm going to turn it. And I'm going to do stitch with a knot. And another little stitch. And find my scissors. And get some red thread. There we go. All right. Now, I'm going to draw a candy cane. I'm going to do a chain stitch. Oh, I hope my chains are small enough. Oh, sorry. Need some glasses. One more? Nah, looks good. The other thing I'm thinking about with my book is that I sort of wanted to have um, all the stitching on the back. I wanted it to show, but I don't think that's going to work. I don't know. Had an idea that I knew what I wanted to do, but yeah, I'm not so sure. Okay, I have here this is that Sashiko thread, and I'm only using it because that's what's right there. And I'm kind of like that. I'm going to start at the top. Why can't I get in there? There we go. And I'm going to use the eye of the needle to go underneath this top main stitch. Then um, maybe I should have done 3 strands of DMC floss. But I don't mind. How cute is that? Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, my lovelies, I'm going to stitch down this other side very much the same manner, and then I'll come back to show you when it's done. All right. There's a little candy cane. If you're still here, do me a favor and hit the like button. If you're on your mobile phone, right next to the like button is a hype button. They created that for small channels like mine to help us, to help boost our viewership, you know, that kind of thing. And if you stick around, I'm going to share some photos of the girls that I sent the sweaters to. Their mom said they got the sweaters. They love it. The next day they wore them all day playing indoors. So I'll add those now. Thanks for watching. Bye.